Welcome to IPL Deep Dive, the podcast that brings you expert analysis, thrilling match highlights, and all the drama of IPL 2025. Whether you're a diehard fan or just catching the cricket fever, we've got you covered with in-depth insights and engaging discussions. Get ready to explore the heart of the action with your hosts, Mike and Michelle, as they dive into today's match analysis. It's time to step onto the pitch and join the conversation.
So, everyone's been talking about this Punjab Kings and Lucknow Super Giants match, huh?
Yeah, seems like it.
You know, you sent over these YouTube transcripts, right, from CricBuzz Live and ESPN Crescinfo, and just from kind of glancing at it, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a pretty comfortable Punjab win.
I think most people had that impression, yeah.
Yeah, but, we don't like to just stay at the surface level, right? We like to go deeper and really try to understand what made this win feel so dominant.
Right.
And you know what it means for both of these teams as we move forward in the IPL.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess the core question we're trying to answer in this deep dive is, what were the factors that led to Punjab's dominance?
Right.
What does it mean for both teams going forward?
Right. Yeah, so let's just start with the Punjab performance. I mean, the CricBuzz commentators were almost shocked, right, at how easily they chased down 172. It was even compared to Mumbai's easy win the night before.
Yeah, they were making it look easy. And I think the thing that's really striking is that there just didn't seem to be any pressure on Punjab at all during the chase.
Yeah.
They're chasing a score that, on another day could be tricky, could be difficult, but they just never looked in trouble, really.
Right.
And of course, to be able to chase that score so comfortably, you have to bowl well first and restrict LSG to a manageable 171.
Right. And we have to talk about the batting of Prabhsimran Singh and Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
I mean, the analysts could not stop praising them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think Prabhsimran Singh was, singled out as our coolest performer.
Right.
And it's so good to see that, Punjab's faith in him. Because remember, they retained him.
Yay.
They clearly saw something in him and they kept backing him. And now he's delivering, some really powerful hitting.
And Shreyas Iyer, I mean, they were just saying that his batting looks as easy as they've ever seen batting look. He's already hit 2 unbeaten 50s. And just to top it off, finished this game off with a 6. I mean, it makes you think, are all those questions from last year about Punjab's Indian middle order now gone?
Yeah, maybe they found the answer.
Right.
And, Iyer's form is just one part of what looks like a much stronger batting lineup.
Yeah.
This year for Punjab, the CricBuzz analysis was talking about how even with, big names like Maxwell and Stoinis not really contributing with the bat in this match,
right,
they've still got so much power and skill, waiting to come in.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting because there's been a lot of talk about the influence of Ricky Ponting as the coach and how well he seems to get along with the captain Shreyas Iyer.
Right.
And even, they were bringing up their time together with Delhi.
Yeah, and, that connection between a captain and a coach is so important.
Yeah.
And often overlooked.
Yeah.
It can really make or break a team's performance. And the ESPN Crescinfo experts were also saying that, Ponting has this clear vision. He doesn't want people, interfering from outside the team. And it seems like there's a real sense of confidence within the Punjab setup. Everyone's buying into the system.
Yeah, and it's not like it's all about the overseas players this time.
Yo.
The CricBuzz guys were saying how the overseas players are almost playing like bit parts. And it's the Indian players who are really stepping up and driving the success for Punjab at the moment.
Yeah, and that's a really healthy sign.
Right.
When your local talent is performing at this level, it says a lot about the opportunities they're being given and the coaching that they're getting. Even that brave decision to open with 2 uncapped Indian batsmen.
Right.
It shows how much they trust in their ability.
Yeah, they were really praising Prabhsimran, again, talking about how they retained him.
Right.
Showing that they really believe in him for the long term. And then Shreyas Iyer, I mean, his batting style, they were calling him like an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah.
Gliding through the water. I mean, it was beautiful. And they were saying, how is this guy not in the India T20 team all the time?
Yeah, you do wonder, when you see this kind of consistent performance
Yeah.
in a tough tournament like the IPL, you have to ask questions about the national team selections.
So Punjab, 2 wins out of 2. They're sitting pretty at the top of the table.
Yeah.
But the big question that kept coming up was, can they keep this going? We've seen them be inconsistent in the past. Can they break out of that this year?
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? To be able to sustain this kind of form over a long tournament.
Right.
But it's certainly a good start, and especially encouraging that we're seeing contributions from everyone in the team.
Okay, so let's move on to the Lucknow Super Giants now.
Okay.
And CrickBuzz was pointing out that their bowlers have now struggled in 2 out of 3 matches against Delhi and then in this match.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that there's a suggestion that the pitch actually changed during the Punjab innings.
Ooh.
It maybe became a bit easier to bat on, and that obviously made it harder for the LSG bowlers.
Right.
Ravi Bishnoi, who's their key spinner, he went for a lot of runs in his 3 overs. They were saying he got dismantled.
Yeah.
And Lord Thakur also had a pretty expensive spell.
So it really does make you wonder about their bowling attack and the plans that they're putting in place, especially when they were defending a total sound that, at first glance seemed like it could be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, there was some debate about whether 170 was enough,
Right.
and whether LSG could have gotten more runs, with the bat. But there's no doubt that the bowlers' struggles put extra pressure on the batsmen.
And there are also some discussions about Rishabh Pant's captaincy.
Yeah.
They were questioning some of the decisions that he made, like having third man up early in the innings. And there were even some comparisons being made with Shreyas Iyer's captaincy over at Punjab.
Yeah, captaincy in T20 is so crucial.
Yeah.
The field settings, the bowling changes that you make, they can completely change the course of a game. And the ESPN Cricinfo experts felt that, some of Pant's early field placements were maybe a little bit too defensive.
Even their choice of impact sub.
Oh, yeah.
The role where they can bring a player in to replace someone during the match?
Right.
They chose Siddharth, and that was questioned too. Some people were saying Prince Yadav, who did really well in the previous game, might have been a better option.
Yeah, and it just shows you how important those in-game tactical decisions are.
Yeah.
Getting that impact sub right can be a game changer, and it seems like the experts felt LSG maybe missed a trick there.
So what about Ravi Bishnoi then?
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to be their main spinner, but he's going for a lot of runs. Not taking many wickets. Is he feeling the pressure, do you think?
It's definitely a worry for LSG.
Yeah.
As their main spinner, they need him to control those middle overs.
Right.
And get some important wickets. And if he's not performing to his best, it puts a lot of strain on the rest of the bowling attack, especially with, someone like Mohsin Khan.
Right.
Possibly injured and not available.
And there was this really interesting discussion about what kind of pitch would actually suit LSG best. Rishabh Pant was saying that they were aiming for a slow wicket.
Right.
But the experts thought that actually a flat track might be better because it would help their strong top order really go big.
It's interesting, isn't it, that, the captain's assessment of the conditions
doesn't
really match up with what the experts are thinking. And it makes you wonder about their overall game plan.
Yeah.
Are they playing to their strengths? Pant himself admitted that they felt about 20, 25 runs short.
Right.
And he said that it can be difficult to build a big score when you lose early wickets, especially when you're still trying to figure out your home conditions.
And of course, everyone's talking about Rishabh Pant's own batting form and whether the captaincy is maybe getting to him a little bit.
Yeah, it's a fair point, being captain, especially when you're also a key batsman. It's a huge mental and emotional burden. And if he's not performing with the bat, that pressure of leadership can feel even heavier.
So looking ahead for LSG, there were even suggestions that they should bring in Shamar Joseph, their overseas fast bowler.
Right.
And there was a debate about whether Rishabh Pant should maybe open the batting.
It's all part of trying to find solutions, isn't it?
Yeah.
When a team isn't performing, they have to look at all the options.
Yes.
Bringing in someone new and exciting like Shamar Joseph could inject some much-needed pace into the bowling and then experimenting with the batting order.
Right.
Maybe having Pant open could be a way of trying to get some quick runs on the board.
And of course, no cricket analysis would be complete without some speculation about the future.
Oh, yeah.
And there was actually talk about a potential captaincy change for LSG if things don't start to improve.
Yeah, that's always a topic that comes up when a team is struggling. But, generally speaking, captaincy changes are a last resort.
Right. So coming back to Ricky Ponting and the environment he seems to be creating at Punjab, the ESPN Cricinfo experts were really focusing on his clear communication style and how he doesn't want any outside interference.
Yeah, and when you have that kind of clarity from the coach and it matches with the captain's approach, it can create a really positive atmosphere in the team.
Right.
it seems like the Punjab players really trust in the system.
And the fact that the Indian players are doing so well, it feels like a big sign of that positive environment.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like they're being back to play with freedom.
Right.
And that decision to go with those 2 uncapped Indian openers, it really underlines that faith in their abilities.
Absolutely. And they've been supporting Prabhsimran Singh for several seasons now. It's not like a sudden change of heart.
Yeah, it shows a long-term vision.
Yeah.
A belief in nurturing talent. And I think that can be so empowering for a player. And you have to imagine that Ponting has a big say in player selection and the overall strategy.
Okay, so last thing. Let's look at the bigger picture of the tournament.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting that Punjab Delhi Capitals and RCB, 3 teams that have been in the ITL for a long time, but have never won the trophy.
Yeah.
They've all started with 2 wins.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it really shows how the mega auctions can shake things up and make the league more competitive. And don't forget, none of these teams have played at their main home ground yet.
That's right.
So it'll be interesting to see how they perform when they go back there.
It's early days, of course.
Yeah.
And the experts were saying, don't jump to any conclusions just yet.
Right.
But it's certainly made for a very exciting start to the season.
Yeah, momentum is so important in T20.
Yeah.
And these early wins will give those teams a real boost in confidence.
So to sum it all up, Punjab's win showed us that they have this incredible batting depth and a really disciplined bowling attack. And it could be a sign that they're a completely different team now, especially with Shreyas, Iyer, and Ricky Ponting working so well together.
And that's the thing that really stands out for me.
Yeah.
That partnership between the captain and the coach.
Yeah.
Someone like Ricky Ponting with all his experience and tactical nous.
Yeah.
He seems to be creating an environment where the players feel like they can express themselves and play without fear.
And LSG, they've got some big questions to answer about their bowling and maybe even about their captain's form. They need to figure out what their best home conditions are and get the right players in the team if they want to start winning again.
And that difference between what they think their strengths are, their batting, and the kind of pitches they seem to be preparing, it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if they're really using their resources in the best way.
So as we've seen, going deeper into these matches, it really changes how you see the tournament. It's not just about the scores, it's about all these underlying factors.
Yeah.
The team dynamics, the coaching, the strategic decisions that affect what happens on the field.
Absolutely. And it makes you think, as the tournament goes on, how will the league table change?
Yeah.
With Punjab looking so strong and LSG having some problems, will things stay the same or will we see some big shifts?
Right.
And what about when all the teams start playing at home again?
Yeah.
Will that make a difference? It's going to be fascinating to watch it all unfold.
Definitely lots to look forward to. Thanks for this.
No problem.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.